My name is Declan McKinney. After 8 years of watching Arrow and making hundreds of videos, I have returned to the show with only one goal: to do it all over again. But I couldn't do it alone. In order to tackle this mission, I had to allow others to join my crusade. Now we have joined forces, and we couldn't just rewatch the episodes. To honor the show we love, we had to become something else. We had to become Honor Thy Podcast. Hello everyone and welcome back to Honor Thy Podcast, and in today's episode we are going to be focusing on Arrow Season 1 Episode 11, and we're also going to be talking about some pretty interesting news that broke over the last week or so regarding a cast member of The Flash. And also I would like to apologise for the sort of extended break in between the last episode and this one. Basically,
Again.
It's my fault, as it always is. It's my fault for... But, I mean, I returned to work and, yeah, it all kind of went tits up. But still... We are back, and we have a pretty decent Arrow episode to talk about, and also some very interesting news. So, let's dive into the news. Also, before we do that, I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro. I spent a many long 10 minutes working on that, and I genuinely think it's the best thing I've ever made, as far as my YouTube career is concerned.
Oh,
It is really good.
It's beautiful.
It is really good.
oh. I mean, to be fair, I've never seen you put that much editing work into such a short piece of a video.
I know. Like,
So, I give you credit in that.
yeah, like I was literally putting it together. I was like, "This is my Frankenstein. Like, this is beautiful." And now it's just that's going to be there at the beginning of every episode. So if you guys don't enjoy it, well, you can piss off.
Yeah, exactly. Fight me.
So here we go. Let's talk about the big news of the week, which is
What was that, Dick?
What was what?
What was that? What's the news?
Oh. I was like, what do you mean? So, Hartley Sawyer, who is of course well known for playing Ralph Dibny, aka the elongated man on The Flash, has been fired from the show. This comes in response to a bunch of old tweets being sort of dug up from people online. These tweets were attempts at humour, and they were really poor. A lot of really bad jokes. They had a lot of racist and misogynistic and sexist humour within it. And basically, he got fired for that. Now, we're not going to talk about the situation, really, just because it's a bit... We kind of just more want to focus on the show itself. And how it's going to...
And also, it's just been talked to death at this point, because it's been
Exactly.
out for a few days, so you'd just be beating a dead horse.
Yes,
Exactly.
like, everything that needs to be said about this has already been said, so we're not going to add to it. So, as far as the show is concerned, I guess this leaves quite a lot of questions in regards to the character of Ralph, because obviously he ended in a pretty tight spot at the end of Season 6. Like, he's tied in very heavily with Sue and her storyline. She's been framed for the murder of Joseph Carver, so he's pretty much tied into that, and he's probably going to try and protect her from that. So do we think that Ralph is going to leave the show? Is he going to get killed off? Or are they going to recast? What do we think's happening?
God, I think it's going to come down to one of two options. I think either they're going to recast him or they'll just get rid of him on the show. I think for personally, it would probably be best if they probably just got rid of him on the show, just because I feel like recasting him would just be a bit strange, because it's a character that we've seen for 3 seasons. You know, we're used to their appearance. And for any reason that they'd come up with to recast him, in terms of saying that, you know, he could morph into someone else, and you know, because if he's been framed for the murder of Joseph Carver, I don't know, it would just feel very strange, and it would feel forced in the show itself.
Sort of overcomplicates it a little bit.
Yeah, it just overcomplicates it, and it just would feel too forced for me. So I think the best decision would probably just be for them to let him exit the show. Whether that means they have to let Sue go off the show as well, I don't know, but I think it would just be the best option for the character. But that's just me personally.
I mean,
Yeah, I feel like possibly he could take like the rap for the murder, and he just like saves Sue, and they just write it and say that he took the hit and just went to prison to help Sue out, which possibly could just work as like a really easy way to write him out.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think of that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think there's kind of, if they are going to get rid of him, I think there's kind of, because I don't know what's going to happen with Sue, because obviously like Ralph and Sue are such like a you can't really have one without the other.
No.
But
Yeah,
then
exactly.
but then you can't really just like almost punish Natalie Dreyfus for this, really.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
not entirely
exactly.
fair. Like she was just brought on the show as a new actress. You can't really just say, oh well, Hartley made a mistake, so now you're gonna suffer as
Yep.
well. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see them if they're gonna get rid of Sue as well. I could see them doing a thing where, they kind of just both go into protection somewhere. Like they just kind of go elsewhere and we don't hear from them ever again. That'd be a way to easily explain the both of them going away. I mean, I think there's a chance that they could recast just because, again, there is precedent in the show for Ralph changing his appearance at will. Like, he can do that. So they could easily explain why he looks different. It would be weird because, obviously, it would just be him changing permanently. But, again, it is doable. Like, in the show, it is explained. But I really don't know. It's a really weird situation. It's like we're just suffering another Ruby Rose situation here. I don't know. I think it's probably
Recast Ruby Rose as
as Ralph.
as Ralph.
I mean, I think that it's going to be difficult, and if they do recast, it is going to be awkward and it is going to be messy. So it is probably best they just write it off. It depends what they do with Sue. That's the thing. It just depends what they do with Sue, because if she gets kicked off at the same time, I think that's really unfair.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they keep her on, it's going to be weird to have Sue without Ralph. Especially because I see Ralph as such an important character on the show. Like, I see him as like a core component, and he's such a big character in the comics. It's weird to just sort of just give him this unceremonious goodbye on the show. Like, just be like, oh, he's gone. You don't get to say goodbye to him, he's off. I don't know. I mean, there might be... Go on.
Yeah, just potentially just because there's always been rumours every bloody season that Carlos Valdez is going to leave.
Yeah.
That Ralph sort of was that comedy sort of side of the show, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And if we lose both of them, it's like Team Flash is just not going to be the same.
Yeah, and also like he is literally like Barry's sidekick, for lack of a better phrase. Like he's kind of like the second to the team. It's kind of weird to let him go at this point. I mean, they could do this thing where I had a point just before you started talking, Dan. I completely forgot what it was.
Sorry, mate.
I had a point. I completely forgot what it is.
It's all your fault, Shotgun Dan. It's all your fault.
I'm sorry.
So I'll just let that point go. It was very good from what I remember, but yeah, it's gone now.
Well, you made us wait an hour before we recorded this, so
true. This will be my punishment. So yeah, Ralph is possibly gone forever. Oh, that's my point. My point was, obviously, this situation with Hartley is very much reflective of the James Gunn situation from a couple of years ago, and with that, we saw James Gunn actually get rehired. In the end, do we think there's a chance this could happen here?
I just don't see. I just don't see the CW as a kind of company that would be, open to the concept of turning around saying, okay, maybe we jumped the gun a little bit. We're sorry about this. We're going to give you a second chance. For me, they're just they feel like a company that very much is just like very reactionary, but sticking to the guns. So unfortunately, I just don't think it would happen for me personally, which is a massive shame.
Yeah, and I think whilst is it Eric Wallace is the showrunner?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen either. Because if you've read his statement, I don't feel like he'd come back if Eric Wallace is still in charge.
I wish Warner Brothers would be consistent. I mean, they literally... This is hilarious because we said we wouldn't get into it. I'm just going to mention this and then we'll move on. But James Gunn's situation, which again, this is exactly the same as, there was so much fan outcry when James was fired from Guardians that it was so much outcry that it got him rehired. We haven't seen that here. And I think I know why that reason is. But also... with Warner Brothers, like I'm assuming this was the CW's decision and not Warner Brothers, but even so,
yeah, probably.
But like Warner Brothers, like they are the ones who hired James Gunn after he was fired to do the Suicide Squad, but yet they kind of endorsed the firing of Hartley here. It doesn't really add up, and again, I think I know why that is. But anyway, it's going to be a weird one for the show. It's going to be strange to see how this sort of develops, but
yeah.
Who knows? He'll either be gone or we get a recast. Or maybe they'll pull a Batwoman and just get a whole new character to beat the Elongated Man. I don't know how that would even work, but
Maybe Ryan Choi comes on.
God.
He's actually elongated man.
Ryan Choi can just get a real stretchy boy. That's a secret power that we didn't, because he didn't have any powers in Crisis. Maybe post-Crisis he has stretchy boy powers.
Exactly, Stretch Armstrong.
We don't know.
But I don't know if you guys on the old recast wagon of James, the guy that was on. I don't know if any of you saw iZombie. Did you? The guy that plays Major. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Right Robert Buckley.
That's it, Robert. I was going to say James Buckley, but that's the bloke off In Between Us. Robert Buckley is a possible recast. And I wouldn't mind that because he's pretty funny. So
yeah, he's really funny. He's great in iZombie. I've met Robert Buckley. He's awesome. I'd be down for that. He kind of looks like him actually.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah. I saw a post and he looks pretty similar. So
and he's got he's also close with the CW. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean, I am going to be sad to see Hartley go just because I really liked him in the role. I thought he suited Ralph so well. And it's kind of ironic as well because Ralph's character was all about sort of changing how he's grown.
Exactly.
Redemption and stuff like that. And I met Hartley in 2018. He was awesome. It's kind of a shame.
Yeah, same.
But if we did get Robert Buckley, I think that'd be pretty cool. I'll take that. I don't know what he's doing these days, but yeah, sure. Come to the Flash. Why not? I'll be fine with that. So anyway, let's move over to the only thing we have to review this week, which is Arrow Season 1, Episode 11, which the title is... Dan?
Trust but verify.
Thank you. So,
indeed,
this episode I actually really, really liked a lot, and actually have a bit more to say about than last time.
Is that because there was shirtless Oliver?
Oh, yes.
I mean, it was shirtless Oliver doing one-arm push-ups. You know, just to add to that intensity.
Wow,
it's powerful.
That was quite something.
It's powerful. It really, really gets me going. So in this episode, the first thing that sort of stood out to me, this is quite a big Diggle episode, which I love when we get a Diggle episode. I love when we get a big focus on the dig. And in this, we have a lot of Oliver and Diggle conflict, which was fun to watch. One thing I noticed, which I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but there's a piece of music that's used in Season 6, which I really like, which is called Brothers in Arms, which is in the episode where Oliver and Diggle have that big fight.
Oh, when they have the hissy fit, yeah.
But
It's
despite what you may think about that storyline, which is ridiculous.
Which is shite.
It's terrible. But the music in that scene is
brilliant.
It's really, really good. And there's actually remnants of it in here. And I didn't actually notice this before, but I'm guessing obviously that song Brothers in Arms, that piece that Blake Neely wrote, basically is based off of this, because it's very similar. There's a lot of the same notes and stuff like that, and it sounds really awesome. So in a lot of the scenes where Oliver and Diggle are arguing and sort of in each other's face, you kind of have that music in the background, which I really, really liked. Because I genuinely think that's one of the best pieces of music in Season 6. It's up there with The Dragon. I actually think Season 6 is one of Arrow's best scores, actually, I will say.
Yeah,
I think
the only thing that's actually great about the whole season.
Blake Neely's score for that season is banging. And also, what I liked about this conflict is that it kind of starts this thing that persists throughout the entire series of Arrow. Anytime there's any conflict within the team, it always proves that Oliver is always right. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. And I really like that.
Yeah.
Because I like how at this point in the season still, even though Oliver and Diggle's relationship has progressed quite a bit by this point, it's still very much like Diggle sees Oliver as almost like an inferior. He's like, oh, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm the soldier. I've been to Afghanistan, blah, blah, blah. But it's like Oliver is always right. And I really like that.
Yeah, and we also get the kind of the first mention of Oliver being off the island as well during the 5 years, because there's that scene as well. Where he's like, how did you find the video of Robert? And he's like, I didn't find it on the island. I think, like I say, it kind of further backs up my point where I feel like they kind of decided that they were going to have flashbacks off the island during the mid-season break for Season 1.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, beforehand, they didn't really make as heavy-handed a reference to that as they do here, because they literally say, I wasn't on the island. Whereas with all the stuff like him knowing how to speak Russian and getting a Bratva tattoo and all that stuff, that could have all been things that he could have still happened on the island.
Yeah.
So I quite like that because it adds a little bit of mystery, but it doesn't focus on it enough that it's something that you particularly remember. It's only like when, like I say, when you go back and you rewatch the episode. But no, it was cool to have that, and it was nice to see Oliver and Diggle go at each other and it not be just really poorly written, like it was in season 6, where it was just like, you leave a trail of dead bodies everywhere you go. I want to be the Green Arrow.
You didn't like that scene?
Well, the thing is, that scene is really well acted.
Yeah, the acting is phenomenal. The problem I have is that the story and the reason for the conflict I hate it because it boils down to Diggle having a hissy fit because he can't be the Green Arrow.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, the actual scene itself is fantastic. Like, it's a really well acted scene. I love that scene from the acting side of it. Like, it's really good. And the music's great. The intensity's great. Even the little scuffle they have is pretty cool. But it's the whole build up to it. Like, when it's actually, the reason why Diggle is so angry is just like because season 6 they ruined Diggle. Like, they ruined Diggle's character. Like, they really did a lot of really bad decisions with him in that season, and that was kind of like the boiling point, really. But here, this was all really good stuff.
Yeah, this was good. This was actually good,
Yeah, this was good. I liked that Diggle actually had a connection to someone on the list. I thought that was interesting. It adds a bit more depth to the list in a way, because it's almost like, because we're actually seeing someone. I mean, we kind of get this in season 5 as well with Prometheus, but like we're actually seeing someone who knows someone on the list, who respected someone on the list, and Oliver is still a bit like, well, tough luck, but yeah, I liked all that. It's good. Also, one thing I thought was interesting, which I kind of picked up on, is that Moira says to Oliver in this episode that Robert wasn't always faithful and stuff like that. And I didn't realize this, but obviously, like in season 7, we see that he was unfaithful in that, like because of Emiko and her mother and stuff. So I think it's interesting. Obviously, like Moira knew about that because Moira tried to cover up Emiko, didn't she?
Yeah.
So like, and this just kind of, it's interesting when you see like these big connections, like all these seasons earlier and stuff like that. Like clearly Moira was aware of what Robert was doing, and she was aware of Emiko and stuff.
Yeah, I think it might. I think it might also as well be a reference to Isabel Rochev, because in season 2 they make it pretty clear that she knew that her and Oliver, her and Robert had obviously an affair going on as well. Yeah. But no, it is cool when you go back at that and you think they planted the seeds for that story.
Yeah.
Or at least like traces of it that early on in the show. Yeah. It's just nice things to go back and look on.
Yeah. It just stood out to me because I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool how they've planted that there.
Did not drop that she had an affair with Malcolm as well?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm pretty sure she said so, didn't she?
Well, there's a lot of I think it's quite obviously inferred that her and Malcolm had been doing the nasty.
But she said something to Oliver as if Oliver knew about it as well.
I mean, I think Oliver at this point is kind of none the wiser, to be honest. I think Oliver's a bit like, because obviously, like Thea brings it to Oliver's attention. Like he's the one who then like investigates it. But I think Oliver's a bit more like, I think Oliver does trust his mum at this point. It's not really yet where he starts to distrust her.
Oh no, I'm talking about I'm pretty sure Moira talks about having an affair with Malcolm. I have to watch the episode again.
No, I don't think she did, from what I remember.
I mean, I watched it a week ago, so I'm blaming
yes.
Again.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just watched it before recording this. I don't remember that, but I'm not saying it's wrong, but I don't personally remember that. But a scene I loved, speaking of Malcolm, is the scene with Malcolm, Tommy, and Laurel at the dinner. Just because this just shows I love Malcolm in season 1. Like, he's such a good villain. He's so well acted. Like, John Barrowman just knocks it out of the park. And it's just this scene where you think he's being all nice and stuff like that. He's being all happy families, and then he just pulls out the sign and thing. It's brilliant. I love Malcolm in this season so much. I forgot how much I like Malcolm as a villain watching this. He's just so devilishly evil.
Yeah, it's just so deceptive. Like you're there and you're thinking, he's actually kind of like changing a leaf, and then man just comes out and is like, I want to destroy our mum's clinic.
Why not?
I want to get rid of it because why not? She dead.
She's not using it.
Oh God.
I like the fact even Laurel, like, because Laurel, like, at the first bit of the episode, it's like, oh, maybe he has turned around, maybe he's trying to, help you out, and even she's just like, yeah, you're a dick. And I like the moments with Tommy and Malcolm, because obviously we don't get a lot of it really, but like, it's interesting to see their relationship, because obviously Malcolm was, we kind of get the impression from Tommy that he was obviously not a good father and very kind of distant. He left him for many years. He kind of come and go, which obviously kind of hints at him and his training as the Dark Archer and stuff. Although, I thought Malcolm was like, isn't Malcolm meant to be like 1,000 years old?
No.
But I thought, because I swear, if you look into like this is never explained on the show. I think this is something that's been in expanded lore, that like Malcolm has been in he's used the Lazarus pit that many times. He's basically got eternal youth.
What? Where did you see that? What? It's not actually explained in the show.
No, but it's in like the wiki and stuff, which I guess can be edited by anyone. But like,
yeah. To be honest with you, that kind of stuff I really don't pay attention to. I just naturally assumed that Malcolm was just a member of the League, but didn't have access to the Lazarus Pit. Whereas I know Damien Dark was kind of more of a higher up because he challenged for the role of Ra's al Ghul, which is why I guess he had access to Lazarus Pits and he lived as long as he did. So I don't know. It could be right, but I just never perceived it that way based off
again,
the show.
This isn't anything I perceived either. Like, cause in the show, this is never spoken about. This is something I read about. And I heard it was some kind of connection to, like, because they even talk about like King Arthur in this. I heard it was like a connection to that, which it sounds very far fetched, but like, it's kind of what I read about.
Yeah. To be honest with you, the expanded lore I really didn't take much interest to, because as soon as I found out that like they killed Bronze Tiger in there, and then obviously they brought him back in the prison, I'm just kind of thinking to myself, well, it's clearly not canon, is it? Because Bronze Tiger's dead all of a sudden. Oh yeah, I'm in prison. I'm just not going to mention that I was apparently
in this
dead.
Episode, like, it kind of discredits that whole idea, because if Malcolm was gone for like, what did he say, 2 years?
Yeah,
that would explain explain Malcolm being in the League and training to become the Dark Archer. And that's where he would meet Damien and stuff like that, rather than just him being this like 1,000-year-old man who's just lived forever.
I mean, his name is the Magician, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that what? Yeah. So I mean, the whole Merlin thing could be true.
Yeah, like that's
kind of a cool little
from.
theory.
Yeah, it's a cool theory. Yeah, it's interesting, and like it's not completely like far fetched. Like, it is explainable in the show. It's just more. It's more viable when it comes from like Damien, because again, like, we know what happened with Damien and how long because he is basically, he could live forever essentially. Whereas Malcolm, they don't say it explicitly, but still, it's interesting. I'd love to see maybe someone ask one of the writers about it or something, see what they come back with, or if they just like, no, that's absolute bollocks. But I like that scene a lot. I think it's cool. And I know sort of Hoss's favourite scene in the episode was the Oliver Felicity scene. There was a lot of flirting going on there.
I was literally.
There was a lot of flirting going on. A lot of flirting on between the two of them, especially with the whole wine scenario. They were really flirting about that bottle of wine, which Oliver never gave Felicity in the end.
Hey, and the way, did you see how long they held that USB stick for?
Oh yeah.
Could have lasted a lifetime.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know it's just because Oliver respects Jews. But I thought, like, I like the scene with Oliver listening to this. It's fun.
Nah, he's just a nice guy. He's just a nice guy to everyone.
I thought you said it's because he respected Jews.
No, he's just a nice guy to everyone.
You changed your tune.
I changed my tune because I said the incorrect words, and I'm very sorry if I offended anybody. I would like to apologise for that just right here, because that is not what I meant to say. What I was meant to say was he's just nice to everyone. And
what he actually means is that he was really fumbling for words last week because he knew he was wrong. But I enjoyed the Oliver Felicity scene here. It's quite. I like Felicity's line, which is like, "Oh, I guess I'm not getting that wine then." It's quite good because again, this is when Felicity was funny. But it's good stuff. Also, I noticed a parallel. Has any of you watched Criminal Minds?
No.
Nope.
Okay, well, I mean, for anyone listening who's watched Criminal Minds, I very much think the character of Felicity is inspired by the character of Garcia from Criminal Minds. This is something I've noticed recently.
Google to see who that is, because I have no idea.
Yeah, if you give it a Google, basically, in Criminal Minds, she's the computer person for the team of Criminal Minds, and she is blonde, she wears glasses, and she has the exact same personality as Felicity. And I think, because I've been watching Criminal Minds recently, I think that Felicity was inspired by Garcia, I think. Just because the similarities are so close, like they're so similar. I just think it's got to be, it's either that or it's a massive coincidence. Like honestly, it's hard to say just through pictures, but if you watched her on the show, she's so like Felicity, it's unreal. So if anybody watching has also watched Criminal Minds, let us know in the comments down below. Do you think Felicity was inspired by the character of Garcia? Because I believe that she was.
No one cares.
Probably not. Criminal Minds is equally as trash as Arrow, but still, I love them both. So, also we had stuff with Thea and Moira in this episode as well. Question for Hoss: do you think that Thea was annoying
in this episode? Not really, because she was justified actually in being mad.
Well done, that's what I thought you'd say.
But, why were you expecting me to go on a massive rant?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oliver got a car. I want one too. Freaking sounded like that girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
But to be fair, I mean, I agree. Like, all the stuff that she was going on for Moira, like, she was justified. I mean, yeah, she was wrong in her assumptions, technically, but also, you know, from her perspective, what else are you going to think? She's not... Like, she thinks her mum is having an affair, not planning to blow up a city. So, yeah, fair dues. So, yeah, that was all good. And then she ends up in a car crash with Vertigo. Is this the first time we see Vertigo?
Yeah, this is where it's introduced. No. And then the next episode is called Vertigo, where you get Count Vertigo. So it was a really good way, actually, that they kind of introduced at the end of this episode. Then they had the cliffhanger, obviously. You know, she crashes the car, gets arrested.
Yeah.
But that was like a really cool way to end the episode. I also like the flashbacks as well in this episode. I really like them here.
Yeah, they were really good, actually, yeah.
Yeah, because I really liked them, especially the bit where you had Oliver just undercover as one of the mercs.
Yeah.
And then he ends up in the same car as Friars. And obviously there's a lot of tension there, and then gets captured, and then obviously when they reveal Yao Fei, and you think he's one of the mercenaries. I remember when I watched that for the first time, and I was generally like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I was so pissed when I saw it first time live. I was just like, wow. You went through all that trouble for nothing.
I can just never stay angry at Byron. I can't. He's my boy. I do like that scene of Oliver and Fires in the car. I like that line where he's like, oh, you know, you didn't come in on the submarine or whatever he said, and he's like, oh, I thought they all came in on the plane. He's like, indeed they do.
He's like, oh, damn it, he's got me.
It's a good line. That I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the final thing. So I said earlier about sort of this question I was going to talk about in this.
Oh yeah.
In the same vein of, is Barry and Iris a weird couple? Is Carly and Diggle weird?
Not as weird, given that they're not like as expressed as brother and sister. Whereas obviously Carly and Diggle, it's just obviously like, I don't know what would you call them? Like, well, in terms of like that.
It's his sister-in-law, isn't it? But like
sister-in-law, yeah, but he's dead. Yeah, but not anymore. So in that regard, I wouldn't really see it as that weird. To be fair, whereas with Barry and Iris, because of the fact they make it so clear that they grew up as brother and sister, that's what makes it a bit more awkward.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that scene. I think it's in season 3 of The Flash, where Barry and Iris are kissing in the front room, and like Barry gets worried that Joe's gonna come in, and he's like, oh, I don't want him to see, and he's like because you know he's dad, he's our dad, he's our it's so awkward. Like, if you can call like the girl you're going out with, if you can call her dad our dad, that's not a good start. Like, that's not I don't know if that's something you should continue with. So we think we give Carly and Diggle the smash pass. That's good. Yeah. I mean, I quite like.
It's
Carly.
not like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, technically they are not related. So I mean, Barry and Iris aren't either, but still.
Diggle definitely wants to tap that.
Oh, he does, and he does. He does. We will see that develop. It doesn't last very long, but you know, we'll see that develop.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And we also get another new love interest for Oliver next week as well, which I'm very excited about. But anyway, score for the episode. I'm actually going to give this. This episode actually surprised me how much I enjoyed it. Just because, again, it was like all the callbacks that I spotted in this. Well, not callbacks, more call forwards, I guess. But I really enjoyed all that, and the stuff with Malcolm and Moira. That was really cool. And the flashbacks were really good in this. And I like a Diggle-focused episode. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10.
Oof. This man, I think that.
Damn.
This man on drugs, man.
I'm on Vertigo. I'm on Vertigo, boy.
I give this one an 8. I wouldn't quite give it a 9. I think Declan's been a little bit too generous there with his scores. But again,
fanboy over here.
Yeah, yeah, true. Even though he does hate season 8, but I'd give it. I give it an 8. I think it's a very, like I say, it's a very good episode. It's a really good Diggle centric episode. Yeah, it's just really good. I just wouldn't quite call it a great episode, just because I don't think there's anything that stands out as like ultra memorable, which for me kind of stops it from going to a 9. Because whereas with the mid-season finale, like there was a lot of memorable stuff in that just really stuck with me. Whereas with this, it was really good, but nothing quite that like landed with me. But it's still really good.
Dan?
Yeah, well, I think you've both been kind of generous with your scores.
Ooh.
Like it was a good episode, but like you said, Horst, it's not really like massively sort of memorable. So, yeah, like it was a good Diggle centric episode. You can sort of see the start of the Oliver and Diggle sort of brotherhood sort of starting, which is really cool. Of course, love the Odyssey scenes. It's really growing,
Top tier
and I
content.
can't wait till we get like full fledged Odyssey. It's
Can't
gonna
wait
be
to the end of
great.
season 3. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be so good.
Shut up.
So
I'll be drinking bleach by the time we get to that point. You won't have me around for season 4.
Dan's just gonna retire and then he's gonna come back.
yeah.
I'm telling you, if it gets bad, I will not watch season 4.
Just wait until you get to my Shotgun Dan segment, mate. You're gonna enjoy this question.
Is that what we're calling it? Shotgun down segment. I mean, it does
Or-
work.
Yeah, something like that. Or it's like Shotgun Dan's game show of the week.
Oh god.
Yeah. Anyway, score. I'm gonna give it 7.5. Solid episode. Yeah, just like Diggle. Solid.
Solid.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, the reason why I like this episode quite a bit is because it's been a while since I've watched one, and also I as you
Me
guys
too.
knew,
It was
like,
a week ago.
but I just didn't. It's because I didn't really like the last episode that much. I think it was like a big step up for me. So
Yeah.
I was just like, yay, Arrow, I enjoy it again. So yeah. So now we'll move over to Shotgun Dan's.
I do want to quickly mention one thing as well about the episode before we move on to Shotgun Dan's amazing segment.
Okay.
The one thing where I watched the episode and I thought, hang on, this is a bit dodgy. The bit where they captured Diggle and they tried to get him to like hijack that vehicle.
Yeah.
I remember sat there and thinking, this is a really fucking stupid plan. Because if he doesn't do this, he's got a fucking grenade launcher. He could just blow you all up. And they even addressed it, and then he actually addressed it, and man just goes on a rampage. I just remember watching that scene thinking, this is a really awful plan. Like, if I was a criminal, I would not give the man that we are holding hostage, like, a fully rounded grenade launcher.
It wasn't a grenade launcher, was it? It was just a tear gas grenade.
Oh, I thought it was a grenade launcher.
No, because when they first do it, they shoot it through the window, and that obviously
well, it's still
takes them out, and then they open the door.
Oh.
And then when he actually fires it, it just sort of it goes off, but it just sort of sparks. Yeah, because if he shot that, he would have killed like.
It's because the fact that Diggle actually says, "I'm the one with the grenade launcher."
Yeah.
That just what made me think that.
Yeah, when he said it, I was just like, "Wait, it's not an actual grenade launcher, Diggle."
Well, to be fair, it's stupid anyway because he can just use it against them, which again is just kind of stupid.
And then later on, he's like chasing that guy down, and he said freeze, and I was like, "Wait a minute, you're not a cop. What are you doing?"
And then of course we get the infamous scene that perfectly capturizes Declan when it comes to agreeing time frames. Man's just like, nope, you can't do it. You can't do it. I can see it in your eyes. Don't posture. It's like I say, it's the perfect summary of Declan agreeing for a time for this podcast.
Yep. And
Can't
funny
do it.
thing, viewers, is Declan tried to organise a schedule. So next week, it's a total mystery of when we're going to record.
Yeah, but whose fault is that?
Yours.
How is it my fault?
Declan's.
I said to you, we should come up with a plan, and you were like, well, because of my job, the absolute horrendous excuse of your job, we can't have a definitive time. So I tried to get organised, but this isn't even my fault. This is Dan, so blame him.
Why is it my fault? I've said I'm available any day, any time. How is it my
your
fault?
hoss.
Oh, for God's sake.
I love this thing. I still gets confused. It's great.
We're 11 episodes in now, come on. Anyway, Shotgun Dan, your fantabulous segment.
Yes, mate.
I hear we have 2 games this week.
We might have 3. We've got 3. Yeah.
Oh, God. Is this to make up for the...
We'll see how it goes, because we're a little bit time. So we'll see how it goes. I've got a Fuck, Marry, Kill, a who wins hypothetical fight, or a would you rather. Which would you like?
You choose Declan.
Oh, God. Well, I think the F, Marry, Kill is definitely a one I'd like to make a consistent segment. So let's start with that.
Cool. Oh yeah, we'll start with that. Okay, so this
decision
week
making, Hoss.
It's all right. It's all right.
This week we have the contestants. We have Vigilante Felicity.
Oh.
We have Punk Felicity. And we have Normal Felicity. This is especially made for Hoss.
Oh, God.
Discuss.
Oh, God.
And obviously Declan, being the amazing editor he is going to put some pictures in this week because he forgot.
Yeah, I'm going to put
And he's even going to drop in a poll as well.
I'm going to put some pickies up.
Yep.
I think you're going to have to go first on this, Declan, because I'm going to have to actually write down which position goes where.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Well, I'll start off with the kill. Just to get out of the way, I'll kill Punk Felicity because every time those episodes come up, I want to die. There's only like 2 of them or 3 of them in the series, but like every time one comes up and it's like, oh, look at these Felicity flashbacks, I'm like, I don't care. So they are, yeah, I'll kill Punk Felicity. Who am I smashing? I guess I'll smash regular Felicity. And then I'll marry... What was her name? Overwatch. What's that her name?
No, Vigilante Felicity, the one that was in the...
In Legends.
Legends tomorrow.
The Legends one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't she have a name, though? Wasn't her name like Overwatch? Like, I know that's her regular code name, but...
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who the head.
Either way,
yeah.
I'll marry Vigilante Felicity, because I'll actually be honest, I actually don't hate that. I don't hate that character.
Oof.
All right, I've got mine. Like Declan, I would kill the fucking... I'm going to call it Emo Felicity. Simply just because, for the same reason Declan said, whenever she appears in an episode, I just want to die. Like I remember when I saw her for the first time in that Felicity episode in season 3, and I was just like, fuck this episode, it's shite. Anybody who wants to argue that is going to lose, because a man's going to spit some serious bars with you if you try and argue otherwise. So yeah, easily that one. I really hate that version of the character. I'd probably say I'd have to fuck Normal Felicity, because while she has a good moments in seasons 1, 2, and 7, and most of 5, she's really shitting for 3, 4, and 6. So because she's kind of 50-50, it's just one you'd want to get over and done with. And then I'd marry the Vigilante one, because 1, she didn't annoy me, and 2, watching her get her neck snapped just reminded me of having Felicity in season 4 getting her neck snapped, which gave me immense pleasure. So yeah.
I love it when you talk.
Is there like a vein in your head right now, Host?
No veins. This is just perfectly calm. Like this is fine. To be honest with you, it wasn't as stressful when I kind of broke him down. I just thought, yeah, this isn't as bad. It's really just emo Felicity. It's really just emo Felicity where I just really don't like it. Just because those episodes, like Declan said, I do not care about them. And usually when it pops up, it's just really, really, really bad.
Yeah,
like really bad melodrama.
That's gonna be when we get the first one of them. That might, which I think is in season 3, is it?
Yeah, episode 5.
Yeah, that's gonna be that might be a 3 out of 10.
All I can think of is just that scene where they've got her and her ex-boyfriend in that phone booth, and it's just like, you know, because what was it? Ross McIntyre used it at the end of one of his like the Downfall of Arrow videos, and it's just there, and then you've got like a picture of Oliver just like fades into the foreground during the conversation. That's all I can think of.
I don't want to think about it. Might skip that one.
Good God, but that'd probably be mine.
So we have
to be honest with you, I thought he was gonna say, would you rather like something related with Felicity, but then like something really bad for me as a consequence. That's what I thought.
Oh, don't worry, mate.
I've
got plenty more ideas. This was just the beginning.
Oh God,
just the beginning.
Oh God,
don't worry. See, me, I'm gonna kill Vigilante Felicity because it gave me vibes of Alex and her Vigilante costume, and I don't know, just didn't like it. So I was just like, nope. She's off skis. She's dead. Neck snap. Punk Felicity, I'm sorry, gives me vibes of like Avril Lavigne, who I think is all right. So I'm going to smash Punk Felicity, to be honest.
This is a trash list.
I'm not, but for once I have to agree with Declan. This is a trash ranking, mate. Man's made the ranking, and he's going to have to take the L.
And then I'm going to go to the afterlife of normal Felicity. Yep. And marry that one.
God, if this was Impractical Jokers, you are tonight's big loser.
Oh dear.
This is upsetting. Yeah, you're taking the L on this one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you're.
I'm not taking the L because I made the game, so I'm giving myself a big W.
But your opinion's still whack, though.
Your opinion's valid.
It's boring if we all have the same opinion, so I thought I'd go down.
But when we're talking about Felicity, it's a different thing all on its own.
We have to all be on the same page.
I did have a very controversial Felicity, but given current times, I thought it's probably best not to. I'll tell you guys off podcast, but yep, let's just move on. Yep.
I'd say we've got time for another game. Do you think?
Do you want another one?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'm not going to go into my hypothetical fight because that one could take a while. It was quite interesting though. I found like a little Arrowverse generator, and it gave me 2 pretty interesting people. But we can do that on another time.
We'll do it.
I'll do a quick one now. Who wins in a fight, Thea or Deathstroke?
Deathstroke.
Thea or Deathstroke?
Deathstroke.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's not true, is it? It's not true because Thea takes him down.
Yeah, but that's because Mark Guggenheim. That's because Mark Guggenheim all of a sudden that's because Mark Guggenheim basically lost his mind during that season and thought, oh yeah, let's take the main villain of season 2 who helped Oliver learn how to fight predominantly, and let's just have him beat by his little sister.
Yeah, that one was just mainly just to trigger you because I knew that you'd give me that.
No, to be honest with you, I think most people would generally be triggered by that because the fact that happened is, I think.
It did trigger me.
Pathetic. Yeah. But I just think in general, Slade, in terms of his knowledge of what he would have of hand-to-hand combat, would defeat Thea.
Yeah. The actual one that it gave me was Vibe versus Firestorm, which I thought was really cool.
Well, save it and we'll do it in the next one.
Yeah. Okay, so the would you rather lick Gary's demon nipple?
For fuck's sake.
or give werewolf Mona a bath?
All right, straight up, I'd rather give Werewolf Mona a bath. Anything other than licking Gary's nipple. I'm sorry, but like Declan, when Gary's nipple started to do the things that it did, that was where season 4 jumped the shark. Well and truly. I think you've killed off Declan. I think Declan's just taking a moment to process everything.
Yeah, I'm just taking a moment to collect my thoughts.
You've actually broken him.
Well, it's a lose-lose.
I mean, you lose either way, but I'd rather take like the L that won't hurt as much.
I mean, originally was going to say you had to sleep with werewolf Mona, but yeah. I don't know if you want to change your answer.
I mean, one is significantly shorter than the other. In regards to the process. I mean, how long is this bath that we're taking?
You've got to give him bath. You've got to trim her toenails, claws, whatnot. Blow dry all her fur.
No, I'm licking his nipple. I can't touch anyone else's toenails. I can't touch other people's toenails. I'm not doing that.
Gay.
Nah, I'm licking Gary's nipple.
Gay.
Nah, I can't go anywhere near someone else's toenails. Fuck that. You can put it in the papers, you can put out tweets, I will lick Gary's nipple, I don't care. I'm not cutting Mona Werewolf's toenails. No thank you. And on that sour note...
Yeah, that was Shotgun Dan's awesome game show segment.
I'm going to have to come up with a little jingle for...
I was going to say, yeah, we need to come up with some sort of jingle and something to add in. Yeah.
I'll put some thinking... I'll put my thinking cap on. Do some... Come up with something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that draws this episode to a close. If you guys would like to leave your own answers to the fuck, marry, kill, or the would you rather, feel free to put it in the comments down below. Would you rather lick Gary's nipple, or would you rather give Werewolf Mona a bath? I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. And of course, leave your thoughts on the Arrow episode from this week and the news that we spoke about today. And as always, I have been Dak.
I have been Hoss, or Dan, whichever one you'd like to call me by.
And I have been Shotgun Dan, your favourite Dan of this podcast.
That is very true. And with all that said, we hope to see you guys again next time.